And now we would like to invite on stage Professor Witold Orłowski, Chief Economic Advisor for PwC. And we would like to take a more economic outlook on who Kraków or what Kraków can become.
Thank you very much for having invited me.
More introductions. Thank you very much.
Yes, it's a pleasure. Just jumping immediately into a topic. I will try to talk now for no more than 10 minutes to leave more time for discussion among us. Maybe we'll all the people from there.
Just before we go into that, I was just wondering whether we could just take a very quick look on the Aspire headcount tracker. And something that we've, that's not the slide, here we go. So I think both Andrew and Philip mentioned that we currently have 80,000 people hired in the industry. 80,000 at the beginning of 2009. And actually this year we're going to be growing to 90,000 and then again to 100,000 in the year to come. Within already more than 330 centers that are based here in Kraków. And again, I remember talking about it in some previous conferences that we had, and we still continue to create 28 jobs a day. And we are going to create over 10,000 jobs in Kraków in this year. It is pretty impressive. And then also, if you think about it, I mean, this has been a trend for the last few years. If you look at the chart, basically since 2017 or even earlier, we've been growing at 20% year on year. So my question would be, how do you see that growth, and what is it that Kraków needs to be aware of and mindful of to grow in a sustainable way? And I'm going to hand over this little tool to click through the slides. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, thank you. Well, after what you have said, I mean, I should just congratulate you and close this my intervention here. But let me explain you one thing. I mean, we at the PwC have been observing the development of the Polish metropolitan areas for 16 years. We just produced the fourth report. Every 4 years there's a report in which we look at the development of the Polish biggest cities, and this is kind of multi-dimensional look at the development. So what we've seen here, the number of jobs in a sector that Kraków can be proud of, right? But in a sense, what we always try to remind everybody is that this is the top of the iceberg. I mean, the success in attracting the modern business is just at the top. I mean, you must do a lot to be attractive, to be an attractive place to, a city must do a lot to be an attractive place to live, to work, to enjoy the life, right? And in the reports we are looking at, as I said, at the multidimensional kind of view on the city. I will come back to the title I put here later, okay, by the end of my short presentation. But now let me just start from a few things. I mean, first, Kraków is the second biggest metropolis of Poland. If there were any doubts in the future about that, I mean, not in the medieval times, right? But now there is, from any point of view, Kraków is the second biggest means together with Warsaw. In some areas better than Warsaw, in some areas behind Warsaw, but basically the second biggest metropolis. And moreover, the Kraków is definitely now an example of the economic success story of the Polish big cities. You see the growth here, the long-term GDP growth. That's, once again, it's the final result, right? Kraków is among the fastest growing cities in Poland, together with Wrocław, Rzeszów, and Warszawa. So 4 fastest growing economies of Poland. However, at the PwC, we are not looking just at the GDP growth or the number of investors or the types of fields or anything. We are looking at all we call it 7 capitals that are necessary to be developed and to be developed in a relatively equal way to make the city a good place to live and to work. And if you make just the average of those capitals, we call them 7 capitals, then you find that Krakow is the second best equipped city in Poland in those capitals. As I said, in many areas it's difficult for a city that's not a capital of the country to be in a competition with the capital. The capital city always has got some advantages. The banks are normally located in a capital city and so on and so on. So that's why Warsaw is somehow comparing Krakow in Warsaw directly may be a bit misleading. But out of the other big cities in Poland, Krakow is definitely the best development capitals. If you look at this development of the capitals and the dynamics of that, we can say that Krakow in the last years improved its position vis-à-vis the other towns of Poland in practically all the areas. The only area, surprise, surprise, in which the situation of Krakow, I mean the measurement of the Krakow was deteriorated a bit compared to the other cities, was the issue of the image. But that's a tricky thing. I mean, Krakow has got the best image of the Polish towns, the cultural image, the touristic image, and so on and so on. The problem is simply that over the last couple of years, many other towns, big towns of Poland, improved the image, and that's why the advantage of Krakow over the others is smaller than before, and that's the explanation of this yellow arrow telling Krakow is no longer as such a leader as it was in the past, but but obviously still it is a leader in this area as well. And that's basically about the report. I invite you to read. And now a few comments. Krakow has got 2 huge advantages that by the end of the day results in its chances for the economic development, for the investment attractiveness. Because, you know, we are living in times in which basically the most promising business is a business built on the intellectual capacity of the people. And somehow this business is trying to locate in places that first can deliver a big supply of this intellectual capacity, of knowledge, if you wish to use one word. Secondly, a place in which people with the knowledge want to live. On the one hand, you need to have kind of it's called milieu, the right environment for the entrepreneurial, innovative place. On the other hand, you must be sure that people would like to live in this place and stay in this place. And the 2 biggest advantages of Krakow is, first of all, it has got the wonderful image. You know, I mean, we live in the times of the so-called narrative look at the life, right? Everybody knows that Krakow is an attractive place to live, right? Krakow is a culturally the best place in Poland, and so on and so on. By the way, our numbers confirm that in the report, but even without the numbers, everybody knows it, right? So this image is one good thing. The second good thing, the second biggest advantage of Krakow is that it is a center of knowledge. The mayor said already the biggest number of the students of the technological and IT fields that are leaving the university in Krakow every year. That's only a reflection of the fact that Krakow has got the best educational system in Poland, and in Polish situation, it is the center of the knowledge. The disadvantages of Krakow that we must be aware of are obviously connected with the quality of life. And this is comparing Krakow already not only with Wrocław, Katowice, Warszawa, or whatever, but comparing with Budapest, Prague, with towns even in Germany, because if you start a business in which the cost of labor is not the key point. The key point is to attract and to retain the talents and people and qualified people. Then you look at this issue. I mean, do people want to live in the town? Kraków has got the problem, obviously, always to be solved with the infrastructure, the problem with the environment. It's clear those are the areas. In a short run, you may say, living in such a wonderful place, everybody knows, you can withstand the problems with the communication with the environment. On the longer run, it's not possible. And those are two areas in which Kraków must improve. And obviously must enhance its biggest asset, being the center of the knowledge. I call this presentation a great leap between yesterday and tomorrow, because let me explain what I think about. It's not the big leap that Kraków already did, or it started this. The biggest advantage of Kraków is its image of a wonderful, interesting place, full of the knowledge, full of the intellectual capital, and so on and so on. And this is basically that you can build on the traditions on yesterday, right? On the other hand, Kraków needs tomorrow, needs to be a place, a wonderful place for the innovative business, needs to be a nexus, to have a nexus between the knowledge, business, and innovation in the Industry 4.0 sense of this word. And in a sense, today, it's troubled water, right? So what Kraków needs is to build a wonderful bridge between yesterday and tomorrow, a bridge over troubled water, and to enjoy all the beauties of being the city of such wonderful traditions and the quality of life that must improve, and tomorrow having the economy of tomorrow, the economy much more innovative, much more oriented towards the Industry 4.0 that's now. And this great leap is still necessary, although it's already started. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.